For more than a decade, the BGK family has been a champion of dreams. It's the dreams of those who work for a better tomorrow that drive us to reach our greatest potential. We are here to support our kingdom partners, their families, their ministries, and our communities.
Did you know that online streaming is becoming the most powerful means of reaching a broader audience? Even major networks are transitioning from cable television to online streaming platforms. BGK is a Christian online TV network that is ahead of the curve. We specialize in virtual broadcasting, allowing leaders to broadcast right from their homes while sitting in the comfort of their customized studios. And as if that wasn't enough, you can have our very own broadcast production for as low as $25 per week. Yes, I said it, $25 per week. Wouldn't you love to have your studio right in the comfort of your home? Well, call us at 877-386-6207 and become a broadcast partner with BGK Broadcast Network.
Hello, I am Evangelist Virginia Bowie, the host of the Cafe Freedom chat show that airs Mondays at 2 o'clock and 8 o'clock p.m. If you have an inspiring, transformative word that you want to share, why not consider becoming a part of the BGK Network family? You'll be a blessing and you'll be blessed.
Hi, do you realize that there's greatness within you? Do you realize that the Bible says greater is he that is in me, that is in you? Do you know that God created you to be great and to make an impact in this world? Well, if you don't know, today's guest is going to share with you how you have so much greatness that's laying dormant in you. And so I want to bring Ramona Rogers from Ramona Rogers Enterprise into our studios. Welcome back.
Hi, how are you today?
Well, last week we had just a little introduction of you. We know that you are an entrepreneur coming from an entrepreneur family. And one thing you mentioned last week is that at the time that we were growing up, we're probably around the same age. Entrepreneur wasn't a buzzword. Our parents just did what they needed to do to take care of their family. So you have written a great book on about how to unlock the greatness within you, and that you are greatness in the making. We highlighted a couple chapters we're not going to highlight because I really want you to get this book. And one of the things is that you say in this book that I have to share, and I have to turn to it because it really is highlighted in yellow. You said that situations, and I want to paraphrase, no season or situation lasts forever. All situations, mistakes, mishaps, obstacles give way to the element of implementing your navigational skills to rethink, to redefine, to reshape, to restructure your life plan and the actions you need to take to stay on the road to the greatness path. An awesome quote. Let's talk about that a bit.
When I wrote that, sometimes we look at situations in our lives as doom and gloom, or why me, or woe is me. And so what I've learned is part of the path to greatness is that struggle and situations come to make you think the way you approach something. It comes to make you maybe learn something new that you didn't know. It makes you keep
Hmm.
pushing forward to bring out that better person that lives inside of you. So if we never had any struggles, if we never had any problems or issues, we wouldn't grow. So the growth comes in the struggle and the problems and the obstacles and challenges that we encounter. So when you do struggle, when you do have obstacles and learning new information and going out and say, okay, why did that not work out? It's probably some things that you missed. Probably some information that you did not have in order to move forward. And once you gain that knowledge, you can come out a stronger, better person. The whole thing is to keep reinventing yourself. And as you grow with the stages of life, seasons of life, you have to take on new roles. You have to learn new information in order to become the best version of yourself in that particular season.
And you use quite a bit of acronyms in this book. You have an acronym for effort, exhaustion, force, fortitude, obligation, um, resistance, tendencies, persistence, and determination. Love the acronyms for effort. You say in this book, which another quote that I underline, throughout the greatness process, there will be days when you will want to give up because the task or the skill at hand will seem like it's impossible to master. It's during those times that if your attitude remains positive, it will get you through the tough times. If negativity resides, it allows for doubt and defeat to step one or to step in. So when we say this, we talk about an attitude is one of the acronyms that you use and you break down. Why is it so important that our attitude, and you say attitude is a little thing that makes a significant difference. Why is it that our attitude makes a significant difference in recognizing the greatness within or unlocking it?
Well, anything that you approach, if you approach it with a positive attitude, whether it's something that you is new to you, if you are going to get past it, you have to approach it positive. That
Hmm.
gives you just something to keep moving forward. Look at it instead of the glass uh, have empty, the glass half full. You know, the positive aspect of it. But if you look at it negatively, it's going to cause that. It's going to cause you to stop. It's going to not give you that oomph that you need. It's not going to give you that push that you need. So
Hmm.
being positive towards whatever it is that you're going through, uh, having that mindset of being positive, having that
Hmm.
approach and that attitude of being positive and like, okay, this too shall pass. What am I supposed to learn from this? What am I supposed to get from this? Ask questions that's going to get you and help you get past that so you can continue on that path as opposed to, oh, this is just too much for me. It's going to take you way down, and that's not what you want to do. You don't want to stop in the process. Look at it as a growth thing, and that way you're just getting better at trying at figuring out how to get past things, which is a part of the process, getting past and learning new ways and maneuvering, which all ends up being knowledge that you can use for later on.
Wow, that is so profound because then you go into relentless. You have to be relentless and determined in your pursuit of greatness. Well, let's go back a bit while we have time. We have in some times been taught to say, well, if you boast, if you do, well, I have, oh, you're making yourself, you're not supposed to boast and you're not supposed to do that and make yourself sing. That in our generation has been seen as taboo. To say, you're not
Right.
supposed to make your name great. You're not supposed to do that. People will recognize you when they recognize you. How do people get over that negativity and be relentless, because we've been taught that if you start bragging and things like that, then that's you shouldn't be doing that. People should discover who you are out there. And now today people are really stepping out and say, I do have these talents and I do have these skills that I want to share, and I know that I'm one that can share it with people. How do people recognize that without being beat down by the fact that, oh, you just think you so much, you think that, and that's the way they taught us. How do we come get out of that?
Well, And to answer that, when people say you think you so much, you say yes, I do, because you have to. It's part of
Mm-hmm.
confidence. If you do not have
Mm-hmm.
confidence in who you are and your ability, you won't do the things that are necessary to move forward. So you kind of
Mm-hmm.
can't worry about what people think. And yes, we were taught to downplay ourselves, and no,
Mm-hmm.
you're conceited, or you're not supposed to. But that's just being confident. You didn't care for
Mm-hmm.
people who were, we called it cocky back then, but
Yes.
it was
Yes.
okay. They were cocky. They were confident in what they could
Mm-hmm.
do. And
Mm-hmm.
confidence
Mm-hmm.
has to be a part of that in order for you to
Mm-hmm.
move forward. Because again, without the confidence, you're not going to maneuver. You're not going to step up to the plate to take on the challenges that come before you, because you
Mm-hmm.
think that you can't. Oh, I'm not supposed to. No, you are. You are supposed to, and we have to change that conversation, and we have to change that conversation we have with ourselves. And when people
Mm-hmm.
come to us with it, we have to learn to stop that, because that is the thing that keeps us from doing the things that we want to do, and going after
Mm-hmm.
that person that we want to be, is the lack of confidence, because we're worried about what the naysayers will say, or what somebody else will say. We have to get the confidence level within us, uh, that self-talk, and retrain ourselves on how we maneuver
Mm-hmm.
with ourselves, and the information that
Mm-hmm.
we tell ourselves. We have to change that.
Okay, good. And so that is what I was looking for, because we call cocky, or all of those words that
Mm-hmm.
would dim our confidence and cause us not to talk about the greatness that our own Creator has put in us. It was sort of like, you should be doing that because you cocky, and what they use is prideful. The word they often used was prideful. You got too much pride because you think you all this and stuff like that. And what it was is that I'm confident in what God has put into me, and what I've went and what I've gained the knowledge. So you say in this book that, and this is another good quote. You say that life doesn't get easy or more forgiving. We just get stronger and more relentless. But you go on down to page 30. It said, change doesn't announce, good quote, change doesn't announce when they will arrive. Changes, okay, subconsciously, we know changes will happen in our life, but when they occur, we are never prepared to handle them. They seem to slow to show up at the worst possible times and catch us off guard. Oh, we should
Yeah.
hold on to that quote, okay? Because there is no prediction in change. There is no prediction
Not at
in what the
all.
world has went through in this past 16 months. There was no warning. There was
Done.
no signs or anything. And yes, it caught us off guard. The world, not just Oklahoma or wherever, it caught the whole world off guard. And so, my question to you, Ramona, is that in change, why is being relentless so important?
It's about embrace that change is going to happen. And when it does
Mm-hmm.
happen, there's a model that you have to follow. Is, okay, here's where I'm at. Where am I trying to get to? Sometimes that means backing up, regrouping in order to maneuver, and move forward. But
Mm-hmm.
that's the relentless part. Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
that stuff comes to stop you. But when you're
Mm-hmm.
relentless, you're like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
here's the situation. This is how I'm gonna get around it. You make another plan.
Mm-hmm.
You reinvent
Mm-hmm.
yourself, so to speak. But you back
Mm-hmm.
up and regroup, and undo maybe what has been done, and see what needs to be done, and you incorporate that new steps, that new
Mm-hmm.
information into moving forward, and
Mm-hmm.
you maintain those goals and those
Mm-hmm.
systems and put in place, and you still go after it. That's the relentless part. You still go after it. You just backed up and
Mm-hmm.
regrouped a little bit to go after it a different way.
Mm-hmm. 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 So good. So important in today's world, understanding and discovering, unlocking, which is what your book is, unlocking your greatness. Is unlocking my greatness a daily thing, a yearly thing, or it's a lifelong journey?
It's a lifelong journey, and it starts with doing it daily.
Okay.
If you do it daily, it's just a part of your everyday process to unlock
Mhm.
it and know that it's there to be unlocked, and you have to do
Mhm.
what you have to do, the things, the knowledge you have to acquire, the actions you have to take in order for all of that to come together to turn
Mhm.
turn the key, put the key in,
Mhm.
in the door and turn.
Mhm.
So that's the
Mhm.
unlocking part, is adding all
Mhm.
these elements together in order for it to happen for you.
Do we learn from our past mistakes as we continue to unlock our greatness? Do we learn as to what we've done? Take the good with the bad, bring the good over to the next level. Would that be your advice as a coach?
Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Everything is a learning experience. You can learn something
Mm-hmm.
from bad situations. You can learn something from good situations. Taking that
Mm-hmm.
information to move forward is definitely the key. Because you still, as
Mm-hmm.
long as you have the breath in your body, you still have the opportunity to still go
Mm-hmm.
after your greatness level every single day.
Mm-hmm.
But taking the
Mm-hmm.
information that you've learned, and
Mm-hmm.
if you're real about the situation and really unlock it, and where did I go wrong? What was my misstep? Okay, I did that right there. You have to really analyze it and evaluate situations so that you can move forward. So the next time it comes up, you know what to do and what not to do, which is key to that growth aspect of unlocking your greatness.
Wow, you've been listening, and you are listening to Dr. Sonia Stinson on the Ruhr Channel. Dinner table conversations hosted by our partners BGK. Listen, I always remind you, you can see any show on the go. Just go and download our mobile app from any Google or Apple store. And if you want to review any episodes, we have a YouTube channel, BGK TV. So you can always view our episodes from any of our broadcasters. We are growing, we are growing, we are growing. So if you are interested in becoming and spreading your wings, up leveling your ministry, up leveling your business, just get in contact with BGK Network and they will walk you through how to build your virtual platform. It is the upcoming thing. So you might want to get in while you can get in, as the kids say. I want to remind you to get in touch with me. There is a toll free number at 866 200 9850. You can look me up on all of the Facebook and LinkedIn and all of the platforms that we have on the internet, and also my website at Sonia Stinson Ministries.org. I'm going to go back and for this to this phenomenal author and ask her about fortitude, because with determination you talk about fortitude in your book, and fortitude is one of the other quotes that of course I wrote down, because you say that it takes fortitude. So it doesn't only take determination, but you say it also involves fortitude. How is fortitude? Why is it so important? And then as you get to that, then that's that word called navigate. And you're not talking about navigating, trying to find a place where I often get lost, even though my navigate system is on. It say turn right, I'm gonna end up turning left because I'm in the left hand. But you're talking about navigating on something else. Let's talk about those two.
Oh well, let's talk about fortitude first. Is simply courage to keep going. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we have to muster that up when we even don't want to do something, or we are afraid to. And that's what courage is doing something in the midst of being afraid to do it. And the
Mm-hmm.
fear factor is always going to step in when you go into an arena that you don't know what it's about. It's new to you, so it always wants to stop you, but you have to, in a sense, push forward and move forward anyway. And so that fortitude part has to come out of you, and this is a part of your process. But the thing is once you practice this stuff on a daily, it becomes natural to you. You start looking at situations differently. You don't be so, oh God, no, I can't do that. You say, okay, what is this? This is new. And understand, with each level, you have to start over and you have to incorporate these elements into what it is that you're doing. So that fortitude, that part, it become natural once you are used to doing it all the time. Learning that skill and understanding and identifying it when it needs to take place. So that's the fortitude part. that navigational thing, nowadays we have the GPS system that most people can't read a map or have never even seen a map. My children don't know what a map is. And so nowadays we have that GPS system where it navigates us to where we're trying to go. Well, even with us as individuals, we have to learn how to navigate if we're headed in a direction and something stops us or something blocks us from that. We have to learn how to back up again and regroup and to navigate to our destination that we want to go to, but we have to learn how to get there a different way. Sometimes that means going to learn something. Sometimes that means incorporating an individual or to give us some information or a resource. Sometimes it means pulling in something else to help you get around that detour in order to move forward and to get to the destination that you're trying to get to.
Wow. And so before, you talk about remaining, and I'm going to pull on us because we've been in class for probably the last 3 months or so together. Because why is it so important to remain teachable, to remain trainable, to be coachable, to have a mentor? Why is it so important? Because we're at an age where we say, well, I don't need anybody. I can do this all myself. And YouTube has enough of it. But why is it so important to remain teachable even in our present times? And I am a teachable person. I love knowledge. I love knowledge. I'm beginning to do some things outside the box that I haven't done. And sometimes fear sets in with me. And let's be
Yes.
honest. So why is it so important to remain teachable, trainable, and a coach?
You're always going to run across something that you don't know. There's so much that you don't know. One human can't know it all. And depending on
Mm-hmm.
what arena that you're moving in, it's information that either somebody needs to teach you or somebody needs
Mm-hmm.
to coach you through a process in order to get the result that you want. Because if you're doing it yourself, for the most part, if you don't know what you're doing, or you don't know what you don't know that you don't know that you don't know, you just don't know. And you stay in that same spot for a very long time. But when you get people in position that either can teach you something, can show you something, can coach you through something, that is going to be better for you, the individual, or your business, or if you have employees, you're going to be better set to guide them as well when you are teachable, trainable, and coachable. You have to get people in place to help you get to where you are trying to go. And if it's somebody that's been there, what better way to get there than to have them coach you or teach you what it is that they did in order to get to where you're trying to go.
Hmm. You say in your book a big factor of the teachable process is to be able to receive and implement the instructions. So we can be teachable, but do not and not able to implement with no implication of new knowledge or opportunities to grow. This means that there can be no progression towards the ultimate goal, which is your greatness journey. Okay, so in the few minutes we have left, let's expound on that quote. You wrote this book from your heart, which I can tell, and you put in a lot of nuggets and a lot of acronyms. And I'm going to encourage anyone that's listening of the 30 countries we're in and all of the listening people that we have on this platform to get this book as a part of your library. But as we close out a little bit, teachable, the process of being teachable, but implementation is a problem even as we're teachable. Why do you think that happens?
Well, there's so much knowledge out there, and I'm coming across thinking of a phrase that says information without implementation leads to frustration. So you can have
Right.
all the information in the world, you can take a whole bunch of classes on the same subject, and you just gathering knowledge. Gathering knowledge
Mm-hmm.
is okay. However, if you're not moving toward where you're trying to go because you
Mm-hmm.
failed to implement that information, then
Mm-hmm.
you stay at that same spot. But you can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't do anything with it, then it's almost like, why do you have it? You have the
Right.
knowledge, you have to put it into action, you have to put it to work in order to work for you to
Mm-hmm.
get to where you're trying to go, because the reason why you learned it in the first place is because you needed that information to get somewhere.
Mm-hmm. 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 I
The
think that is
implementation
so. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm.
I'll just like that implementation aspect is you can have that knowledge, but if no implementation, then you stay in the same spot. You don't grow. You don't move that needle at all.
And you wrote this so quick. The emergence of greatness will be halted if you are the kind of person that's always have to be right. The process of being teachable will be difficult for you if you think you are the best teacher. Okay, do we still have that challenge in our world, especially as individuals and as women? Is it always that
Oh,
we're
oh,
right,
most
we're the best teachers in the world, nobody can teach it better than us, but there is more knowledge out here? Do you think that we still struggle with that and reaching and unlocking our greatness?
I think we do, and sometimes that's not a good thing when we are in circles and we feel like we can't, especially if we're the big fish in the pond. You can learn
Mm-hmm.
something from everybody, and it could be the most minute thing. But if we are the big fish in the pond, and we sometimes don't take heed to information from other people, and again, you can learn from anybody, and that can make you better to move into your next arena for a whole nother segment of your life. But we
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, and some of that is, eyeing people and sizing people up. We are as humans, we size people up according to what we see, and we make predictions and about who they are and what they can bring to the table, or they can't help me by what we see, and not listening to what they say. The information that they have to give because we're turned off for one way or another, or whatever we might have a hang up ourselves about something, and we're not
Right.
listening to the information that is given for whatever reason, and it could be anything. So as women, we could be really really petty on some stuff, and that keeps us
Amen.
from actually getting to where we want to be. Again, it could be just
Mm-hmm.
little bitty stuff that halts that
Mm-hmm.
information. It's like you see, but
Mm-hmm.
then you don't hear, and you don't take heed to the
Mm-hmm.
information. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, yes, we do have that barrier when we deal with us as women.
Okay, well, I just want to thank you, Ramona, for coming on one more time. Let them know how to get this book and how to reach out to you.
Okay, RamonaRogers.com is my website. You can get the book there. You can put your contact information in there to reach out to me and to consult with me. And that's where you'll find all my information, RamonaRogers.com.
You've been a great guest. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in to once again the dinner table conversations with Apostle Dr. Sonia Stinson, hosted on the Rural Channel by our partners BGK. I thank you for tuning in. Remember to download our mobile app. Remember to go to our YouTube channel. Remember, if you're looking to spread your wings and up level your ministry or your business, get in contact with us. Again, I can be reached at my toll-free number, 866-200-9850. I never take it for granted that you've tuned in. Thank you. I'll see you next week, and God bless you. Bye-bye. Matthew House comes from the scripture of Matthew 25:35. I was a stranger and you took me in. I was hungry and you fed me. I was thirsty and you gave me drink. I was in prison and you came to visit me. That's how we developed Matthew House. 3 African American men who had the compassion and the love of people who are all veterans. My name is Dr. Sonia Rickett Stinson, and I am the Executive Director and the CEO of Matthew House.
Right now we're in the common room, which is also named as the day room. This is where most of our clients eat during the daytime. This is where they can watch TV. This is where they can socialize.
Hi, my name is Kirsten Dickens. I work as a nurse practitioner, one of the providers at Heartland Alliance Health. So here, Heartland Alliance has a number of outreach sites around the city, so linkage agreements with certain sites where we take our typical outpatient clinic model and bring it in to specific outreach sites, Matthew House being one of them.
Or they can go and get their public entitlement benefits, or helping with a storage bid.
supplying the blankets, or supplying the toiletries. Cleaning supplies is something we take for granted.
Other things that we have to get done. There's building maintenance that we have to take care of. There's the supported service at the program staff who have to definitely be here from 12 hours a day in order that the individuals are not in the heat and they're not in the cold. So we need your help. We need your financial support.
We